I turned off the construction light so you can see up here. See along here? This is where the paint is over here. You can kind of see it's a little bit slicker than everywhere else. And I made sure I put flat paint up there. There's flat paint on the ceiling. And so flat versus flat is going to be the same when it dries and cures all the way. Now, it's not 100% dry just yet, but I think that paint is going to match up really good. You know, even if it is slightly off, and time will tell. You might not be able to tell that for another week or two, maybe even a little bit longer. This paint here, you've got to remember, is brand new paint. The rest of the ceiling is at least 7 years old. So even if you got it, the paint out of the same can, it's going to take a while for the new paint to relax up there and maybe start blending in a little bit better than what it does right now. You know, you look at that in about a month or so and it might be blended in better. Let's see there, that's that same area, and I think it's going to be all right. The worst case scenario, we're going to have to paint out this entire ceiling. I really don't want to do that. I'm going to have to let this dry all the way before I make that decision. Okay? But as for now, that's all the different steps you're going to have to go through for your painting project, and only you will know whether or not that patch is good enough for it to match what you want or not. You know, if it's not good enough and you can't live with it, you're going to have to paint out the entire ceiling. No two ways about it. Look at that. I put that construction light back up there on. See how the paint almost disappears? It's almost hard to tell where my patch was, huh? So it just depends where you stand in the room, how the light bounces off of your ceiling, and all that. So I think I'm calling it a day. As for these two lights, I'm going to let this paint cure at least 24 hours or so before I install the backing plate. I don't want to install that backing plate just yet and have it mess up on the paint or anything like that, especially if you got eggshell or semi-gloss on the ceiling. You don't want to do it too soon, because if you put that up there, next time you want to take your light fixture down, your backing plate might be kind of glued up to the ceiling because the paint wasn't dry all the way. And then you pull that down and rip, it peels off the paint further than where you want to go or something like that. In this case, chances are that's not going to happen because this is flat paint, not eggshell or semi-gloss or even a gloss paint. But I'm not going to take any chances on that. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to do that. I got my hands full with the cleanup anyways. I got to clean all this up, take everything back out of here, vacuum the floors, wipe the counters off, clean off the floor a little bit, do some wiping down on the counters, cabinets, and the range over there. You know, all that good stuff. Alright? I guess I better get back to work. I think that's blending in really good. That's the second coat. It's almost dry. And that's another good reason for putting on a second coat. Because after the first coat, it didn't seem like it was covering as good. That's because it only had one coat of paint on there. You put two coats on there, you get a full body paint look. It matches your existing conditions, and you know, if your paint is close enough, it may be acceptable. So don't get too discouraged after the first coat. Let the first coat dry thoroughly, put the second coat on there, and see what happens. Here's the finished product. Got those light fixtures put back up there, and those took a little bit of doing too. I didn't show you anything about how to reinstall those, but once you take them down, you'll figure out how to put them back up. They're pretty easy. And I think that paint blended in really good. Wow, almost looks like I wasn't here. And that's how I wanted it to be. I don't want anybody to know I came in here. You know, to patch that water stain that we had on the ceiling and all that other stuff. When you get done with the project and it looks like you were never there, then you have completed the project. That's right. That's how it's supposed to look after you get done with the project. If it looks like you were never there, then you have succeeded. Give yourself a gold star. All right. Now the job isn't complete until you clean everything up. So I've nicely cleaned everything up and wiped everything down. I even wiped the floor down. I even vacuumed the floor there, wiped off the table there, I even wiped off the top of the TV armoire over there and the coffee table over there, vacuumed over there, and just went a little bit above and beyond so that when someone comes in here, they'll like what I did and they won't say, oh yeah, you did a good job on the ceiling, but you made a big mess around the light fixtures, around the cabinets. They weren't all wiped off. There was dust everywhere in the room. No, you want to do it 100%. And it's not 100% until you clean up. That's it for this project. But I'll be back with more videos.